right. What's going on? Welcome to Vinyl Happy Hour. Got some Woodford Reserve, the double oaked, because I'm going to kind of squeeze in a little bit of a double feature here tonight. I want to talk about my top 5 kind of picks or releases for the week, and then just throw a quick 5 mention about some packaging, some of the cool stuff going on with some new vinyl releases. I hope you're doing well and everyone survived Record Store Day all right. I know it was a busy one here at Culture Shock. I'm still on kind of a Record Store Day hangover from all the records that came out here this month. So we're going to jump right into some new stuff though, and that's what we do with Vinyl Happy Hour. Every Thursday, a brand new episode to kind of break down and talk to you about my top 5 picks for the week, and sometimes throw in a couple extra goodies or personal things. So I'm Skylar Davis. Not only am I a huge record collector, I'm owner of Culture Shock Clothing and Records here in Rockford, Illinois. And the records are also featured on our website at cultureshockshop.com. You can find a link to that in the video below. And I hope you subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, let me know what your picks for the week are. And of course, go find our social media pages as well, especially Instagram and Facebook, where we post some new releases every single week. Let's jump right into a very exciting release. I mean, it's kind of funny because I'm kind of mad about Vinyl Happy Hour because I really wasn't going to open this up or check it out or play with it. I was just going to show off the new Rammstein album, Zeit. I'm not going to pronounce that right probably, but a lot of Rammstein things I wouldn't pronounce very well. They're a German band, a German metal band, but I'm so glad I got to open this up, check out the packaging, and listen to the music. It's pretty good. A lot of people are familiar with Rammstein. They're kind of a wild, weird metal band. Of course, a lot of people know them for flame blowing and other weird things, a lot of 90s and 2000s metal especially, but they're still going. This new release is a double LP, nice thick vinyl. The packaging though, it's got this cool like obi strip kind of on it, and kind of gold emblazoned kind of lettering, and then the track listing on the back is also in like the gold foil print. Nice thick gatefold. What's really nice though is this booklet. So each double LP sleeve too, it does have printed inner artwork too. This band is pretty infamous, but lots of stories behind them. Also, one of their I remember having a vinyl box set. I can't talk about it. They put out a box set, and each member was inside, like molded. I won't talk anymore about it, but go look it up if you're interested. So this album, though, it's metal. Don't get me wrong, and it's all sung in German. But if you listen to music like I listen to, you know, psychedelic or hip hop or jazz or of course a lot of metal where you can't even understand the words anyway, it doesn't bother me at all. And this album has a lot of piano in it. It's metal, but there's industrial elements. There's even like some classical elements and orchestra elements and gothic elements. It's a really great album actually. Oh, also do note, it does play at 45 speed. So if you get this or pick it up and you start playing and you're like, wow, this is really slow. No, it's 45 RPM. You gotta change the speed on your record player. But I wanted to feature that and show that off. And like I said, I'm kind of mad about Vinyl Happy Hour and listening to some of these. I wasn't sure if I was going to get this, but now after kind of playing around with it and listening to it, probably end up getting it for myself. Like I said, not only am I a store owner and whatever, I'm also a huge record collector myself. I love vinyl, playing records, and I listen to all types of music, even The Weeknd. So what's really cool about the new album from The Weeknd, I'm sure you all know The Weeknd. I mean, it seems to be a big deal. Very interesting concept album on this. I took the sticker off of the back sleeve. It's just very minimal, just a picture of The Weeknd, and then the track listing and stuff on a sticker. I actually stuck it to the back of the jacket, just to keep that with it. But this is a concept album. It's kind of like, it's supposed to be his version of like being stuck in a car in, I don't know, olden years, you know, listening to the DJ or the radio station play some different songs for you. And it reminds me of the concept of like, I know Queens of the Stone Age have done that. I mean, God, even Snoop Dogg has done that. But this isn't really, I wouldn't classify this as a hip hop album. They used a bunch of different producers on the new Weeknd album. And that's Weeknd, Weeknd is the artist. And it's got a lot of pop. It's really polished pop. It's even got a little bit of dance, a little bit of disco, just a little bit of rock even. I mean, it's just kind of like a chill sounding, you know, listen to the radio stations, some kind of vintage R&B and like a little bit of hip hop production. But like I said, it's really just a really polished pop album. It's a lot of fun though. It's a really good concept, a good album, easy to listen to. I mean, a couple of the big hits that really, you know, Take My Breath and Sacrifice and Here We Go Again. I mean, there's like, yeah, There's a lot of good songs on this. But you actually get to hear, I forgot who voiced some, I think Quincy Jones actually, and a few other well-known people who I'm drawing a blank on actually play the voice of like the DJ or have some stories going between some of the songs that help it all kind of tie it together. Definitely worth checking out. It's a nice change from his previous couple of albums too. Definitely a good thing to listen to and check out. And like I said, it's just really easy to get into. Just a good pop album, you know, good production. Oh No Tricks Point Never actually I think produced some of it too. So it's got a little underground feel. So that's some brand new releases I want to talk about. They're both on black vinyl actually, but let's talk about something that isn't. I was kind of at a toss-up. This reissue of this early kind of 90s Blink182 release, they're doing 3 variants of it, and each variant gets a little bit more expensive. They're kind of pricing it based on that. So there's black vinyl, there's this blue haze vinyl, and then there's the tricolor, looks like green, or I'm sorry, blue, yellow, red, so kind of matching. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to collect both of them, I suppose, but I chose to go with the blue vinyl, the blue haze, let's say. Blue clouds, whatever you want to say. Oh, that's right, it comes with some extra goodies as well. So, this had come out in the 90s. This is like pre-Travis Barker Blink. And just good kind of punky, pop-punk stuff. But the sticker, actually, the hype sticker does do it justice. I think it looks a lot like this cool kind of splatter. I wish it was a little lighter blue to match the clouds and stuff like that, or shades of blue, but whatever. It's cool looking and matches the record cover. But I didn't know it was going to come with this. It comes with a little poster, a little postcard from the Kung Fu record label talking about the release of this. This originally came out on cassette. This was like kind of like small-time recording before they had blown up and become a big band. And then Kung Fu Records actually went back and remastered the original cassette recordings and released it more proper sounding. I'll bet it was very rough sounding. I might have heard the original demo cassette of this actually, and it did sound pretty rough, pretty punky, pretty crappy. But yeah, this sounds really good. And it's funny how, geez, this is 95, I think, so it's 27 years ago. So all that pop punk and all the Blink182 seems to be highly relevant still, which is kind of funny to me. So it's all coming back, you know. So, oh, it's so 90s to look at the pictures of them, those sunglasses and stuff like that. Wow. Oh, God. Billabong shirts, all the skater 90s. It just reminds me of those 90s mall stores, but I guess so does listening to Blink182 in general. So, but that's kind of a nostalgic piece, and it's cool to see that getting reissued. Funny story, back at the beginning of the pandemic, we had gotten these in a different color, more of a different tricolor, and sold out of them, and I was gonna keep one for myself, and someone bought it through our website, and I had still had it. I didn't take it off the site, and had it at home unopened yet, and so I had to sell it, and we were never able to get more, so I've kind of been waiting on this. It's the patience of a record collector. You've got to wait to get a copy. So finally they've been reissued, so now I got it. I wasn't like dying to get them, it's like I got plenty of other records, but it's cool to get it. So I've got one now, so you can't get them all, but we do have a few of each color. Those are going to be in the link again at cultureshockshop.com. So check the staff picks section. That's where we're putting some of the picks of the week or picks of the previous weeks. Plus there's tons of other new vinyl on there. We're also taking pre-orders for upcoming releases, including Slipknot and some other stuff. But the jazz label stuff, man, this is Blue Note's been doing the Tone Poet series you might know about. This is the Acoustic Sound series through Verve. Label is doing 180 gram tip-on gatefold, mastered from all original analog tapes. The Impulse label, 60 years of Impulse records. These jackets are gorgeous. Oh my God, they're like the originals if you've ever seen original Impulse jazz label. Of course, very well known for John Coltrane's releases. But they're thick, super glossy, super high gloss. And the vinyl is impeccably great sounding. This is like nice thick vinyl, completely analog. It sounds perfect out of the package. You play it. What's interesting about this John Coltrane and Johnny Hartman album is there are vocals. Johnny Hartman's singer on it, and I think we've got McCoy Tyner on keys, on piano. So not a lot of jazz albums have vocals, and in my opinion, not a lot of great jazz albums do, but this is a great jazz album. Yeah, McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison on bass, and Elvin Jones on the drums, who also works on a lot of Coltrane albums and on a lot of the Impulse label. Cool little story, got your back. This is a stereo version, so in and out of the vocals sometimes, and then when Coltrane comes into play, you will hear the stereo effect of maybe saxophone being in one channel over the other. Yeah, just a great album. Originals are either very hard to find or very hard to find in clean condition. So it's really nice to see them doing this complete analog remastering. But yeah, I won't go into a lot more about it. I mean, if you know Coltrane, you know Coltrane. This is early though. This is my, 61, 63. Some earlier jazz stuff before he got too far out. And then fun little story. This has Lush Life on it. Yeah, it has Lush Life. Yeah, Lush Life's on the side too. Evidently, Hartman and Coltrane were riding together on the way to the studio and heard the Nat King Cole song on the radio and wanted to record that in their session. And that's kind of why that song, I guess, is on this album. So cool little tidbits, cool little notes. So yeah, be aware when you see either the Blue Note Tone Poet series or like these acoustic sound series on the Verve Impulse stuff, they are completely analog. So I feel like listening to jazz really helps makes having a nice drink good, but it also makes metal sound good. Like it's kind of a good balance. Here's another one that had sold out a while ago. They're doing a reissue of a different version. Loathe. I let it in and it took everything. I mean, that's pretty epic sounding. This is on mustard color vinyl from Sharp Tone label. This is a UK kind of hardcore band, metal band, and it's only 1,000 copies were made. Well, let's check out the packaging first before we look at the vinyl. So it's kind of very math rock looking to me. It's very kind of minimal also, and just very like lots of shapes and things like that. But it does have a little pieces of ambient here and there, double LP. But in between some of the ambient and soundscape music, it just scorches. This is a good hardcore album. This was one of my favorite releases a couple years ago when it came out, 2020. I think it was close to the top of my list for some of the metal picks of 2020. But guess what? It's been out of print for a couple years and it looks like it's been selling, I think, for quite a bit of money. Very hard to get. So luckily there's been a reissue now in a different color. Get it when you see it, get it when you know it's available, because something about the modern society, I've been seeing things being flipped for exorbitant prices on the secondhand market. So check out Loathe if you want, and get it right away if you're interested, because it's a good album. I mean, there's just elements of just good hardcore, even though they're a UK band. I mean, even like some Dillinger Escape Plan meets the Deftones and all the other kind of my favorite bands like that. Let's just do a quick little look. I don't know how well you can even see this, but figured I'd mention the Toro y Moi Mahal presents. Kind of interesting packaging because, well, they put the sticker on the front side. I don't know if they meant to do that, because anyway, it's a gatefold, but there's a lot of records I've noticed doing this foil print on these really nice jackets. So it's got a really cool foil print on it, almost mirror image-like quality to it. And a lot of things are in color vinyl, including that one. This one, the Ann Wilson Fierce Bliss, I just wanted to point it out because of the artwork. It's one of my favorite artists who did the album artwork. I'm sure the music is great too, famous Ann Wilson of Heart, but this is Roger Dean artwork, who I know from like, oh geez, tons of bands, you know, like Hawkwind and Budgie, and of course Yes, tons of Yes artwork. So he always has that very vibrant kind of scene. Let's Eat Grandma, great kind of female indie rock band, kind of electronic and stuff. 2 ribbons. This is the limited gatefold edition with bonus 7-inch, but also gold embossed foil printing, gatefold, super cool. This is alternate artwork. I actually wish I had the regular one here too, so you could see the difference in the artwork, but they're doing a special version. And then the track listing also is kind of this raised foil on the back. Cowboy Junkies, Songs of the Recollection. I just love the albums kind of doing the sound waves. This is cool. They've pulled some songs and called some songs from their personal favorites to do some covers on. So this is a covers album, but I love how you get to see the record spines all kind of going in the sound wave. Last one of the most creative packages I've seen in a long time. I don't have it open, nor am I going to rip it up and assemble it. But this is the new Spiritualized. Everything Was Beautiful. And it's on pink vinyl, which is kind of like Pepto-Bismol or medication, maybe pink vinyl, because this is actually like a pillbox. It's die cut in here. You can actually rip this off, you know, through dotted line. I mean, tear it out and build a little pillbox for it. Instead of like how many milligrams or whatever it was, it's like 44 minutes long. So it's all kind of music related, all the content on this medicine box. So I was like, dang, that is so cool. Spiritualized, if you don't know them, very kind of chill, mellow, electronic, shoegazy band. Jay Spaceman, who was in, you know, many other bands, also it's his band. So he's made several albums now as Spiritualized. Just very cool. And then when you flip it over on the back, some of the info and stuff like that is upside down, things like this. So I would love to just see that torn out and put into a pillbox or something like that. It's just kind of cool. Just very inventive stuff. So it's cool to see the packaging that's getting done. Some of the indie store exclusives, I forgot to mention, some of these are indie store exclusives. So they're only available to independent record stores, kind of like Record Store Day stuff was. Of course, great music too. I'm still playing catch up from some of the releases for the month because there was like over 200 releases that dropped for Record Store Day. I think I'm going to share the link too, so that'll be down here, Record Store Day 2022 link. If you want to see what's still available, obviously a lot of things did sell out already, but we still have a lot of great releases left from that. So if you've got some time, please check out our links to our website, both the staff picks to check out some of the other various new releases and the Record Store Day list. Just a lot of great releases out there. Please watch or subscribe to get updates on our upcoming Vinyl Happy Hour videos as well. Cheers, guys. Keep those records spinning.